I want to show those numbers to you again here as we move on to the U.S. House District 8 races. You see Kim Schreier here with 49% of the vote, and you've got the three challengers very close together. Reagan Dunn, 15%, spent a lot of money on advertising. Matt Larkin with 16% of the vote. Jesse Jensen with 13%. So we'll have to see in the days ahead how this shakes out. But incumbent Kim Schreier in the U.S. House District 8th race definitely moving forward. And so let's talk about this with our political expert, Matt Markovich. And Matt, let's respond to this. And also we should just say, by the way, we reached out to Patty Murray, who you interviewed, and asked her if she wanted to come on, and her office told us that you'd already talked to her and they would send us a press release instead of being live with us on the news.
And I think what it is that race with Smiley and Patty Murray is expected. It's going exactly as expected. There's no surprises at all. We all knew Tiffany Smiley is going to be the second choice, and that Patty Murray is going to have be the largest vote getter, and that's what's happening right now. Now, talking about the 8th district right here.
Are you surprised that it's not closer between two candidates, that Kim's running away with it like it is now?
In the 8th district here? No, that's not unexpected. You have three Republican candidates there. You have Dunn, Larkin, and Jensen. All three were expected to split up some sort of a vote. If you pretty much add up that vote, it comes to be 50-50. So it's just always going to be Kim Schreier, as we see it here in the checkbox here, that she's going to be the first top vote getter. There's no win in this situation. You're going for the top two vote getters. She is expected to be the top vote getter going into November. We just didn't know who the Republican is going to be. Now, Reagan Dunn was leading in 538, which is a big pollster group known nationally. Had Reagan Dunn going up against Kim Schreier in November. Well, right now, Matt Larkin and Jesse Jensen, who almost beat Kim Schreier last time, are right there. So this is too close to call right off the bat in terms of who's going to be the second in that race.
Of the races that we've seen so far, just the few things that we've seen come in, what is most interesting to you? What stands out here?
Well, we're going to get to it. I think it's going to be the 3rd congressional district here, if we want to put up those numbers. This is Jamie Herrera Butler. She's the incumbent, and as you can see here, she's losing. She is the Republican. She is the Republican who voted for impeachment of Donald Trump, and all the Trump supporters said, you're going to pay for that. Well, here's the situation we talked about. You have Joe Kent, you have Heidi St. John, who are the second, third, and fourth candidates on this particular screen here. They're all trailing Gluceman Kent Perez, Marie Gluceman Kent Perez. She's the Democrat in the race, who most likely was going to sneak in, total unknown. But if everybody voted Democrat, as they did in the 3rd district here, if all the Democrats in the 3rd district, which is Southwest Washington State, pretty conservative area, but if all the Democrats go for one person, this is what you're seeing. And that's why she may sneak in. Maybe I didn't expect the top vote getter, but I thought Herrera Butler would be the first one at the top of the list here, but she is second.
Matt, traditionally, the more conservative voters or the older voters have voted early in mail-in ballots. You get some of the younger voters voting late. It sounds like the turnout's a little higher than we thought.
Yeah,
is that still going to hold true this time?
I just checked some of the turnouts in some of the smaller counties. You have Columbia County already reporting at 48%. You know, King County's coming in at 21%. Pierce County's coming up at 22%. Ferry County was 36%, which is Culpville. Ferry County's way up north by the Canadian border. So you have a fairly high turnout right now with these smaller counties that we're seeing. And obviously more numbers going to be coming in. This is just the first drop of ballots. And everyone's going to do one drop tonight, and then they're going to start counting ballots tomorrow.
And this is unexpected. We were talking about that earlier. It's a really nice day out today, right? We weren't expecting some kind of huge turnout. What do you think it does say, these early numbers that we're seeing?
I think that there's a political interest here. You have a really strong interest in politics now. Maybe it's because of Trump. Maybe because the Trump factor is playing a role in the Republicans going out and supporting their particular candidates. The Trump factor is a big role in the 3rd congressional district, as well as the 4th one, which we can talk about right now if we want. He plays a big role. Now, this is the 4th House district, and that's basically central Washington. Dan Newhouse, a Republican. Again, he is a House Republican who voted for impeachment of Donald Trump, and he's been on the target for the Trump supporters. Then you have Doug White. He's the Democrat in the race. And then Lauren Culp, 22nd. So Lauren Culp's number there, even though he is such a wild a gadfly, so to speak, in the Washington political landscape. He says what he means, but he has the support of Donald Trump, and there he is at 22%. He only spent $10,000 to $15,000 for this primary, and he's up there among the leaders. So that's a race that's too close to call right off the bat.
Well, would Culp supporters and Sessions supporters go for Newhouse once it's all decided if Culp doesn't move forward?
Well, that depends. I mean, if you're going to have a Democrat that's going to be the number one, who's in the lead right now, I'll bet you all the Republicans, because that's a traditionally Republican district, will rally around whoever it is, and it may be Newhouse, and they may have to just suck it up and vote for him if they want to keep a Republican in that seat.
Okay. You got any other numbers you want to hit real quick while we're on the big
No,
ones?
we're all good right now, unless they got the Secretary of State numbers up. Okay, yeah, great. We have that. No, so Secretary of State, Steve Hobbs is the incumbent. He was appointed by Governor Inslee there. He was a state senator after Kim Wyman took a federal job to be security elections chief for the federal government. So she's in Washington State. This is to finish off the rest of the term, about 2 years. Steve Hobbs is the incumbent Democrat. Julie Anderson is the Pierce County Auditor, and this is kind of what I expected, Hobbs and Anderson, but Hoagland and Wagner are making a race out of this. Now, Anderson's running as a nonpartisan, basically an independent. Hagelin, they're running as Republicans. So, again, Hobbs, as expected, the Democrat is going to get the first tier in the November election. And that's why I said earlier why the Democrats are really not having a party tonight, because everything is going as planned for the Democrats. It's up to the Republicans who they're going to have to challenge some of these incumbent Democrats. And that's what you're going to see right there. Even though Steve Hobbs has only been in the job for a couple of months, he's still the incumbent, and he's a Democrat, so he's the one to be knocked off.
All right. I guess there's voters still just look at it and vote by party still.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Matt, thank you. We have more with you coming up a little bit later.
That's right. Our coverage of the Washington primaries does not stop here. You can head to our website, fox13seattle.com, and click on the elections tab at the top of your screen for the